Damian Eggers from the Portland Tribune. The third quarter, we saw you kick into something we haven't seen as much this series as we did the previous series. What happened?
I mean, I thought a lot of the looks were similar looks. Just had to make shots. You know, I think sometimes as a shooter, the shots just don't fall, and then you start trying to make shots a little bit too hard. You know, you start trying too hard to make shots. Maybe take a few tough ones, and then that just makes it, you know, a longer night sometimes. And I think over the course of the series, well, at least after game one, just haven't seen the ball go in consistent enough. And my job is to stay aggressive, you know, keep doing what I do. And tonight, you know, shots fell.
Second row on the right.
Dame, Sean Highkin, Bleacher Report. You've never been in a Game 7 in your career in the playoffs. What are you expecting, or do you have any kind of thoughts on what kind of atmosphere you're going to expect, or how you're going to prepare for it?
I mean, I think it's, you know, it's always people saying, you know, people have never been in a Game 7, but it's basically a game where only one team is going to make it out. You know, it's your last opportunity to play. So facing elimination is what it is to me. You know, that's going to be my approach, and we was facing elimination tonight. The only thing that's going to change is going to be on the road, and it's far season for all the marbles. So for me, I'm not going in there saying, oh, I've never been in a Game 7. I'm going in there saying I know what this team is capable of. I know what I am and who I am as a player, and you know, I'm going to go in there to get the job done. I'm not concerned with it being Game 7 or whatever. You know, it's not Game 7 of the finals, so it is what it is.
To your right, please, on the wall.
Casey Hillel, Trailblazers.com. What did you think of Big Drip's game tonight, and how much different is it for you guys when he's able to play like that?
I thought he was great. You know, for him to be coming over and helping on a lot of the penetration on the, you know, some of the mismatches on the block that they were looking to exploit with Millsap, and you know, contesting shots, blocking shots, boxing those guys out, limiting the second and third opportunities for him. Just played with confidence, you know, got to the free throw line and made free throws, took open shots, went up strong to the rim, and it was a dunk or he was getting contact. But I just think his aggressiveness, how sharp he was mentally in the rotations, and, you know, a lot of the adjustments that we wanted to make, I think that was the most impressive things that he did. You know, a lot of people on the outside, they just look for made shots, missed shots, you know, the obvious stats, but it's a lot of stuff, you know, that you walk through in shoot-arounds and that you go through when you watch film, and, you know, changes that way, and just positioning and stuff that you want out of players. And I thought he was really good in that way, you know, so a lot of people might not notice those things, but as his teammates, we noticed how sharp he was in those things that we wanted to do.
Also on your right, please.
Dame, Mike Richard, NBC Sports. What does it mean to have Nurk on the bench with you guys, and has he told you how hard it is for him to watch these games?
I mean, he's a part of the team, so having him there, it feels more complete. You know, sometimes you look down there, and when he's not there, you're like, man, you can tell somebody's missing. You know, a player is missing, and he's also a talkative person, so you know, you feel his presence. And today was actually the first time that he said to me when I was sitting next to him on the bench, he said, man, I wish I could play with my broken leg. I would go out there right now and get hurt again if I could. And I was like, man, this dude is crazy. But it was right after they showed him on the screen and the crowd went crazy. And, you know, he must have got one of those feelings again. And, you know, that's how he was feeling at the moment, I guess.
Front row.
ESPN. Dame, there was a couple moments where you guys got rolling in the second and third quarter. You were at the middle of that, and the crowd was very excited about it. Do you hear the crowd in those moments? And it seems to me like you're kind of seeking out those momentum shots to kind of keep them juiced up. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I mean, Coach, you know, sometimes in the huddle he's saying, you know, give our crowd something to get behind, because we know that we got a great home court. We know our fans get into the game. We know how much they care. And for me, I'm looking up saying, all right, we on the run. You know, they're a possession away from calling the timeout. And, you know, you're not going to kill them in the third quarter. You're not going to kill them with 8-9 minutes in the fourth quarter. But you can, you know, get that crowd going. And, you know, a few times I looked up, you know, 3, 4, 5-point lead. If I come off the screen and get a look, I'm going to raise up. And then it's going to be 8, you know, make them call a timeout. The crowd going to go crazy. So I think, you know, for us, you look for those. Well, for me, I'm looking for those moments where it's like, okay, this can be a moment where they call a timeout, get our crowd behind us. because I know how it feels being on the other side, you know, the visiting team, when the crowd is going crazy and you got to call a timeout. It's like you got to regroup, and now you got to go in the huddle and have these conversations. So I guess that is true. You know, I look for those moments.
Second row, please.
Dame, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. As the leader of this group, with 70 hours or so to go until the next one, what kind of things do you hope to instill and to say to your guys to make sure that they are at their best when the tip goes up on Sunday?
I think the number one thing is, you know, well, not the number one thing, the number two thing is to get rest, you know, stay off our feet, rest our bodies, make sure that we do that part. And then the number one thing is have our minds right. You know, don't overthink, don't make it some big crazy deal or nothing like that. We're going to play a basketball game, and it's a big game, and we've won on their floor before, and we know what type of mentality we had when we did that. So we got to go out there, be tough, be physical, be sharp in our scouting report, play for each other, play with each other on both ends, and just put the pressure on them. You know, make them earn everything on their offensive end, and then when we get the ball, make sure that we get shots up. You know, value each possession. Don't go out there turning the ball over, playing into their hands, you know, where they get an opportunity to get their crowd involved. So that has to be our mentality, to just be sharp, be physical, go in there ready to take the game, because the only way it's going to happen is us going in there and taking it.
Last question, front row.
Jared Cowley, KGW. Rodney Hood has been good in this series, obviously. How much easier does it make it for you and CJ to have a consistent scorer on the wing?
It's huge, because obviously coming into whatever game or series it is, CJ and I, we know the attention that we're going to get. We know teams are going to come try to take us out. We know that teams are going to give a lot of attention to our pick and rolls. If it's an ISO, anything that we're doing, we know we're going to see bodies. And when you got another guy on the wing that's making threes, posting up, scoring in the mid-range, drawing fouls, doing all these things, it gives the other team something else that they have to worry about, to where it takes a lot of pressure off of us, to where it's not as much pressure to score the ball. It's not as much pressure to make something happen, because you got another guy out there with 25 points. So after the game, I said he's probably been our most consistent player over the course of this series. You know, I feel like all 6 games he's had a good game. So we're going to need him to continue that in Game 7.